Listen carefully, son, and remember this. Life is not only about having a good heart, it is also about having wisdom. Many people grow up believing that if they love harder, work harder, trust more, care more, and sacrifice more, everything will eventually work out. Unfortunately, the world doesn't always reward good intentions. Sometimes, the very qualities that make you kind become the reasons others take advantage of you. There is a saying that everything is good in moderation. Too much of anything, even something beautiful, can become dangerous. Water gives life, but too much water can drown a person. Fire provides warmth, but too much fire destroys everything it touches. In the same way, love, trust, kindness, hard work, and even thinking have limits. Once those limits are crossed, they begin to harm the very person who possesses them. Never confuse balance with weakness. Being balanced doesn't mean you stop loving people. It doesn't mean you become cold-hearted or selfish. It simply means you learn to protect your peace while still caring for others. A wise person knows when to give and when to hold back. A wise person understands that respect begins with respecting yourself. Many people spend years trying to please everyone around them. They say yes when they want to say no. They forgive without seeing any change. They trust without asking questions. They give without expecting anything in return. At first, they believe they are doing the right thing, but over time, they become exhausted, disappointed, and emotionally broken because they forgot one important truth. People often treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Son, your heart is precious. Your time is valuable. Your energy is limited. Protect them. Don't waste your life trying to earn appreciation from people who only notice you when they need something. Don't destroy your peace trying to save people who don't want to save themselves. Remember this throughout your journey. Balance is one of the greatest forms of wisdom. Learn to love without losing yourself. Learn to trust without becoming blind. Learn to work without forgetting to live. Learn to care without becoming someone's option. The lessons you're about to hear are not meant to make you fearful of people. They are meant to make you wiser. They will teach you how to recognize your limits, value your worth, and build a life where kindness and strength walk together. So listen carefully, son, and remember every word, because being too much in the wrong direction can cost you everything. 1. If you love too much, you will be cheated. Love is one of the greatest gifts God placed in the human heart. It has the power to heal broken souls, strengthen families, and inspire people to become better versions of themselves. But love without wisdom becomes dangerous. When you love too much without boundaries, you stop seeing reality. You begin making excuses for people who continue hurting you. You forgive repeatedly without accountability. You sacrifice your happiness while hoping they will someday appreciate your loyalty. Never let your love become your weakness. Some people recognize genuine love, treasure it, and return it with respect. Others see genuine love as an opportunity. They notice your willingness to forgive, your habit of always being available, and your fear of losing them. Instead of appreciating these qualities, they exploit them. They realize they can disappoint you today, apologize tomorrow, and you'll still remain. That is not love. That is emotional manipulation. Love should never require you to abandon your dignity. If you constantly chase someone who never makes an effort to meet you halfway, you are not building a relationship. You are carrying one alone. Healthy love is mutual. It requires honesty, respect, commitment, communication, and responsibility from both people. One person should never carry all the emotional weight. Remember this: the right people will never make you beg for the love they freely receive from you. Loving someone doesn't mean accepting disrespect. Loving someone doesn't mean tolerating lies, betrayal, or abuse. Sometimes the greatest act of love is walking away from someone who continually chooses to hurt you. Protect your heart, because once it is repeatedly broken, rebuilding it takes years. Give your love freely, but never blindly. Let people earn your deepest trust through consistent actions, not empty promises. A wise heart loves deeply, but it also recognizes when love is no longer healthy. Loving wisely doesn't make you cold, it makes you mature. Love with compassion, love with honesty, love with respect, but never love so much that you lose yourself trying to keep someone else. 2. If you speak too much, you will lie. Words are powerful. They can build trust, heal broken relationships, inspire hope, and change lives. But the same words can also destroy reputations, create misunderstandings, and leave wounds that never fully heal. That is why a wise man does not measure his strength by how much he speaks, but by knowing when to remain silent. Son, learn this early in life. Not every thought deserves to become a sentence, and not every opinion needs to be expressed. Many people speak simply because they dislike silence. They fill every conversation with unnecessary words, believing that talking more makes them wiser or more important. In reality, excessive talking often leads to careless speaking. The more a person speaks without thinking, the greater the chance of saying something they cannot take back. A promise made too quickly becomes a burden. A secret shared too freely becomes gossip. An opinion spoken in anger becomes regret. This is why people often find themselves trapped by their own words. They exaggerate stories to impress others. They add details that never happened. They promise things they cannot deliver. Eventually, they begin saying what people want to hear instead of what is true. One small exaggeration leads to another until honesty is replaced by deception. Remember, lies rarely begin with evil intentions. Sometimes they begin with the simple desire to look better, avoid embarrassment, or gain approval. But every lie demands another lie to protect it, and before long, the truth becomes difficult to remember. A trustworthy person understands that credibility is earned over time, but can be destroyed in a single careless conversation. Once people question your honesty, rebuilding their confidence becomes one of the hardest tasks in life. There is another danger in speaking too much. The more you reveal about your plans, your dreams, your struggles, and your weaknesses, the more opportunities you give the wrong people to discourage you or use your words against you. Not everyone who listens is cheering for your success. Some are collecting information. Wisdom teaches you to speak with purpose. Before opening your mouth, ask yourself 4 simple questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is this the right time? If the answer is no, silence is often the better choice. Silence is not weakness. It is discipline. It gives you time to think before reacting. It allows you to listen, observe, and understand. The person who listens carefully often learns far more than the person who dominates every conversation. Some of the strongest people in the world are not the loudest. They choose their words carefully because they understand that every sentence carries weight. They don't argue over every criticism. They don't respond to every insult. They know that peace is sometimes found in walking away rather than trying to win every debate. Speak truthfully. Speak respectfully. Speak only when your words add value. Let your reputation be built on honesty rather than endless conversation. Son, remember this lesson wherever life takes you. People may forget many of the words you say, but they will never forget whether they could trust them. So, don't speak just to be heard. Speak because what you say is worth hearing. And when silence is the wiser answer, never be afraid to let it speak for you. 3. If you cry too much, you will lose your sight. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are proof that your heart is alive. Every human being experiences pain. Every strong person has faced moments when life became so heavy that tears were the only language the heart could speak. Never be ashamed of crying when the pain is real. Sometimes tears wash away emotions that words cannot express. But son, remember this: tears are meant to be a bridge, not a permanent home. If you spend too much of your life crying over what has already happened, you will slowly lose sight of what is still possible. Your eyes may remain open, but your vision for the future becomes clouded. Pain begins to define your identity, and disappointment becomes the lens through which you see the world. Many people stay trapped in yesterday because they cannot stop mourning what they lost. They replay the betrayal, the rejection, the failure, or the heartbreak over and over again. Every morning begins with memories, and every night ends with regret. Without realizing it, they allow one painful chapter to become the entire story of their lives. Life does not stop because your heart is broken. The sun still rises, opportunities still appear. New friendships are still waiting to be formed. New dreams are still waiting to be pursued. But if your eyes are fixed only on your pain, you may never notice the blessings standing quietly in front of you. There is a difference between healing and holding on. Healing allows you to remember the lesson while releasing the burden. Holding on keeps reopening the wound until it becomes part of who you are. Do not let sorrow become your identity. The strongest people are not those who never cry. They are the ones who wipe away their tears, learn from their suffering, and continue walking forward. They understand that every storm eventually passes, and every night gives way to morning. Pain has something to teach you, but it is not meant to imprison you. Think about a traveler carrying a heavy backpack. At first, the weight seems manageable, but the farther he walks without putting it down, the heavier it becomes. Eventually, he becomes too exhausted to continue, not because the road is impossible, but because he refuses to release what he no longer needs to carry. Your emotional burdens work the same way. Forgive, not because everyone deserves forgiveness, but because your heart deserves peace. Let go, not because the past was acceptable, but because your future is too valuable to sacrifice for it. Remember that every scar tells two stories. One story speaks about the wound, the other speaks about survival. Choose to focus on the second story. When life disappoints you, cry if you must. Let your heart breathe. Let your emotions be honest. But when the tears have done their work, stand up again. Lift your head. Open your eyes. Look ahead. There is still purpose waiting for you. There are still dreams worth chasing. There are still people who will love and respect you. There are still victories you have not yet experienced. Son, never allow temporary pain to convince you that permanent hope no longer exists. Your tears may water the soil of your character, but they should never drown the future God has placed before you. Cry when you need to. Heal as long as it takes. Then rise, because your story is not ending with your pain. It is beginning with your courage. 4. If you think too much, you will be depressed. Your mind is one of the greatest gifts you will ever possess. It gives you the ability to dream, to solve problems, to learn from mistakes, and to prepare for the future. A thoughtful person often makes better decisions than someone who acts without thinking. But son, even the greatest gift can become a burden when it is used without balance. There is a difference between thinking and overthinking. Thinking helps you find solutions. Overthinking creates problems that may never exist. Many people spend hours worrying about tomorrow while forgetting to live today. They imagine every possible failure before taking the first step. They replay every embarrassing conversation, wondering what they should have said differently. They question every decision until they become too afraid to make any decision at all. This is how overthinking quietly steals your peace. It begins with one small worry, then another. Soon your mind becomes a battlefield where fear argues with hope, doubt argues with confidence, and imaginary problems seem more real than the opportunities standing right in front of you. The greatest prison in the world is often the one built inside the human mind. A person can be surrounded by loving family, supportive friends, and countless opportunities, yet still feel trapped because every thought convinces them that something terrible is about to happen. Remember this, son, not every thought deserves your attention. Just because a thought enters your mind does not mean it is true. Fear speaks loudly, truth speaks quietly. Learn to recognize the difference. Many dreams have died, not because people lacked talent, but because they allowed fear to become stronger than faith. They waited for perfect conditions. They searched for complete certainty. They wanted guarantees that life could never provide. While they continued thinking, life continued moving. Opportunities passed, time disappeared. Someone else took the chance they were too afraid to take. Thinking should prepare you for action, not replace it. A sailor cannot control the wind, but he can adjust the sails. In the same way, you cannot control everything life brings your way, but you can control your response. Worrying about every possible storm will never stop the rain from falling. It only prevents you from enjoying the sunshine while it lasts. There will always be questions without answers. There will always be risks you cannot avoid. There will always be uncertainty. Accepting this truth is one of the greatest forms of wisdom. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" ask yourself, "What if everything works out better than I imagined?" Instead of focusing on every obstacle, focus on the next step. One step becomes another. One good decision becomes another. Before long, the mountain that once looked impossible becomes a journey you've already completed. Protect your mind just as carefully as you protect your body. Be careful what you watch. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful who influences your thinking. Your mind grows in the direction of what you feed it every day. Fill it with wisdom instead of gossip. Fill it with gratitude instead of constant complaints. Fill it with hope instead of endless fear. Most importantly, learn when to rest. You do not have to solve your entire life in one night. You do not have to carry every burden alone. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause, breathe, pray, and trust that tomorrow will reveal what today cannot. Son, your mind was created to guide you, not to torture you. Think carefully, plan wisely, learn constantly, but never allow endless thinking to steal the joy of living. Because a peaceful mind sees opportunities where an anxious mind sees only obstacles. And the life you desire will never be built by fear alone. It will be built by courage, faith, and the willingness to move forward even when every answer is not yet clear. 5. If you care too much, you will be taken for granted. A caring heart is one of the rarest treasures a person can possess. The world needs people who are compassionate, generous, and willing to help others. Never allow anyone to convince you that kindness is a weakness. True kindness is a strength because it requires patience, understanding, and love. But son, there is a difference between being kind and forgetting your own worth. When you care too much without setting boundaries, people begin to expect your sacrifices instead of appreciating them. What was once seen as generosity slowly becomes an obligation. They stop saying thank you because they assume you will always be there. They stop respecting your time because they believe you will always make yourself available. That is how a good heart becomes exhausted. At first, you help because you genuinely want to. Then you continue helping because you feel guilty saying no. Eventually, you become emotionally drained, not because you stopped caring, but because no one cared for you in return. Remember this lesson carefully. You cannot pour water from an empty cup. If you spend all your energy solving everyone else's problems while ignoring your own, sooner or later you will have nothing left to give. Caring for yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. A healthy heart is able to help others because it first learns how to protect its own peace. Some people will value your kindness. They will respect your time, appreciate your efforts, and support you when you need them. Hold those people close because they understand the meaning of gratitude. Others will only remember your name when they need a favor. They disappear during your difficult seasons, but suddenly return when they need your help. They expect your loyalty while offering very little in return. Do not mistake this for friendship. Real relationships are built on mutual care, mutual respect, and mutual effort. If you are always the one calling, always the one apologizing, always the one checking in, always the one sacrificing, and always the one fixing every problem, then the relationship has become one-sided. Healthy relationships do not depend on one person carrying all the weight. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. No is not a rude word. It is a boundary. It is a way of protecting your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. The people who truly respect you will understand that you cannot always be available. Those who become angry simply because you chose yourself for once may never have respected your boundaries in the first place. Do not confuse being needed with being valued. Someone may need your money, but not respect your character. Someone may need your advice, but ignore your feelings. Someone may need your presence, but never make time for yours. Know the difference. A wise person gives from a full heart, not from an empty soul. Give because you choose to, not because you fear rejection. Help because it is right, not because you are trying to earn acceptance. Your value does not come from how much you sacrifice for others. Your value comes from who you are. Never lose yourself trying to become everything for everyone. The strongest trees continue to grow because their roots are protected beneath the ground. In the same way, your peace, your dignity, and your self-respect must be protected if you want to continue growing through life. Son, continue to care. Continue to show compassion. Continue to lend a helping hand when you can. But remember that even the kindest heart needs limits. Do not allow people to mistake your generosity for weakness. Do not allow your love to become an endless supply that others consume without gratitude. Care deeply, but care wisely. Protect your heart while keeping it kind. Because when people realize they cannot take advantage of your kindness, those who truly belong in your life will stay, and those who only came to use you will quietly walk away. And sometimes that is one of the greatest blessings life can give you. 6. If you trust too much, you will be betrayed. Trust is one of the most valuable gifts you can give another human being. It cannot be bought with money, demanded through words, or forced by emotion. It is earned through honesty, consistency, and time. Once trust is broken, it can take years to rebuild, and sometimes it is never fully restored. Son, always remember this. Trust is precious, but it should never be given blindly. The world is filled with different kinds of people. Some will protect your confidence as if it were their own. They will stand beside you in difficult times, keep their promises, and remain loyal even when there is nothing to gain. These are the people who deserve a place in your life. But not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who praises you wants the best for you. Some people wear kindness as a mask. They say the right words, make convincing promises, and earn your confidence quickly. Yet when temptation arrives or circumstances change, their loyalty disappears. That is why wisdom teaches us to observe people's actions more carefully than their words. Anyone can make promises. Character is revealed by keeping them. Many people have suffered not because they trusted, but because they trusted too quickly. They ignored warning signs because they wanted to believe the best in someone. They overlooked dishonesty, excused repeated disappointments, and convinced themselves that things would change. Instead of listening to their judgment, they listened only to their emotions. Your heart may be kind, but your mind must remain alert. Trust should be built one step at a time. Just as a house is built brick by brick, confidence in another person should be built through repeated acts of honesty, responsibility, and respect. Do not hand someone the keys to your life simply because they were kind to you for a few days. Time reveals what appearances cannot. Be careful with your secrets. Not every listener is a safe place. Some people collect information not because they care, but because they intend to use it when it benefits them. What you reveal in confidence today may become tomorrow's gossip if you place your trust in the wrong hands. This does not mean you should become suspicious of everyone. A life without trust is a lonely life. Instead, learn to trust wisely. Give people the opportunity to prove themselves. Watch how they treat others, not only how they treat you. Notice whether they keep small promises before believing the big ones. Observe whether they speak with integrity when no one is watching. Character always leaves clues. There will be moments when betrayal finds you despite your wisdom. Someone you believed in may disappoint you. A friend may become a stranger. A partner may break a promise. A colleague may take credit for your work. These experiences are painful, but they do not have to make you bitter. Never allow one betrayal to convince you that everyone is untrustworthy. If one dishonest person hurts you, do not punish every honest person who enters your future. Learn the lesson without losing your ability to believe in goodness. Forgiveness does not always require reconciliation. You can forgive someone in your heart while choosing not to place them in a position where they can hurt you again. That is not revenge. That is wisdom. A broken bridge is not crossed until it has been repaired. Likewise, broken trust should not be restored until genuine change has been demonstrated through consistent actions. Son, value loyalty because it is rare. Protect your reputation by becoming someone whose word means something. Let people know that when you make a promise, you intend to keep it. When you give your loyalty, let it be sincere. When you receive someone else's loyalty, treasure it. And when betrayal comes, as it sometimes will, do not let it destroy your character. Walk away with dignity, learn the lesson, guard your heart, move forward with greater wisdom. Trust is not about believing everyone. It is about believing the right people for the right reasons. So trust with hope, but never without discernment. Because a wise heart is open enough to build meaningful relationships, yet careful enough to protect itself from unnecessary pain. 7. If you work too much, you will lose your life. Hard work is honorable. It builds character, creates opportunities, and turns dreams into reality. Every successful person understands the value of discipline and persistence. Nothing worthwhile is achieved without effort. If you want to provide for your family, accomplish your goals, and leave behind a meaningful legacy, you must be willing to work. But son, never confuse hard work with endless work. There is a point where dedication becomes obsession. There is a point where ambition begins to steal the very life you are trying to build. Many people spend their entire lives chasing promotions, bigger houses, expensive cars, and larger bank accounts. They tell themselves they are doing it for their family. They promise that one day, when everything is finally perfect, they will slow down and enjoy life. But that day never comes. There is always another deadline, another meeting, another business trip, another opportunity to earn more, another reason to postpone living. Years pass before they realize their children have grown up. Their parents have grown old. Their friends have moved on. The moments they intended to enjoy have become memories they never created. Money can replace many things. It can replace a broken phone. It can replace a damaged car. It can replace furniture, clothes, and even a house. But there is one thing money can never replace: time. Every hour that passes is an hour that will never return. No amount of success can buy back the birthdays you missed. No promotion can replay your child's first steps. No paycheck can recover the conversations you never had with the people you loved. Success means very little if there is no one left to share it with. Do not become so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Rest is not laziness. Rest is preparation. Even the strongest machine needs maintenance. Even the richest soil must lie fallow before producing another healthy harvest. Even your body demands sleep, your mind needs peace, and your heart longs for meaningful relationships. Ignoring these needs may bring temporary success, but eventually the cost becomes greater than the reward. Many people sacrifice their health to earn wealth. Later they sacrifice their wealth trying to recover their health. That is a price no wise person wants to pay. Take care of your body. Exercise regularly. Eat wisely. Sleep enough. Visit your loved ones. Laugh often. Spend time with your family without constantly looking at your phone. Listen when someone you love is speaking. Be fully present. The greatest gift you can give another person is not expensive presents. It is your attention. Your presence tells people they matter. Your time tells people they are loved. Never underestimate the importance of creating memories. One day, your children will not remember every toy you bought them, but they will remember the evenings you played with them. They will remember the stories you told. They will remember the times you made them feel safe. Likewise, your parents will not measure your love by the size of your salary. They will treasure the moments you visited, called, listened, and simply sat beside them. Life is more than work. Work should support your life. It should never replace it. Build your career with excellence. Pursue your dreams with determination. Give your best every single day. But know when to stop. Know when to close the laptop. Know when to leave the office. Know when to take a walk. Know when to sit at the dinner table. Know when to watch the sunset. Know when to pray. Know when to simply breathe and be thankful. Because one day, your job will replace you. Another employee will sit at your desk. Another person will take your position. Business will continue. But your family can never replace you. Your children only have one father. Your parents only have one son. Your spouse only has one partner. Your friends only have one you. Protect those relationships while you still have the chance. Son, work hard, dream big, aim high, but never become so consumed by making a living that you forget the purpose of living. At the end of your life, people will not gather to talk about how many hours you spent in the office. They will remember your kindness, your integrity, your laughter, your love, the lives you touched, and the memories you created. So work with excellence but live with intention. Because the richest person is not the one who owns the most. The richest person is the one who never sacrificed the people they loved for the things they could never take with them. Son, if there is one lesson I want you to carry with you for the rest of your life, it is this. Everything in life needs balance. Love, but do not lose yourself. Speak, but choose your words wisely. Cry, but do not let sorrow become your home. Think, but do not allow fear to control your future. Care, but never forget your own value. Trust, but let people earn your confidence. Work hard, but never forget to truly live. The world will often tell you that more is always better. More money, more success, more attention, more sacrifice, more effort. But wisdom teaches a different lesson. Sometimes more becomes too much. And when too much has no boundaries, it begins to destroy the very blessings it was supposed to protect. Your heart deserves peace. Your mind deserves rest. Your soul deserves joy. And your life deserves balance. Never allow anyone to make you feel guilty for protecting your peace, setting healthy boundaries, or choosing your well-being. The people who genuinely love and respect you will understand. Those who don't were benefiting from the absence of your boundaries. Walk through life with kindness, but also with wisdom. Be generous, but not foolish. Be humble, but never allow yourself to be treated without respect. Be strong enough to forgive, yet wise enough to learn. Remember, life is not measured by how much you gave away until nothing was left of you. It is measured by how wisely you lived, how deeply you loved, how honestly you spoke, how faithfully you stood by your values, and how positively you influenced others. So, remember these words whenever life becomes confusing. Don't be too much, because that too much can hurt you so much. Live with balance, love with wisdom, work with purpose, trust with discernment, care with boundaries, think with hope, and never lose yourself while trying to become everything for everyone. That is how you build not only a successful life, but a meaningful one.